Banya Madaki Pazibo, that Snubanya Madaki Pazibo inherited the said land from his father Bazimbo, who in turn inherited same from his father Nwoye. That the Nwoye is the person that deforested the said land from its virgin state, and that after deforesting the land, Nwoye farm on it by cultivating crops such as yam, guinea corn, maize, cowpea, beans, cotton, seed, seed on the upland, and rice on the swampy, marshy area of the Fadama. According to the 11th defendant, that upon the demise of Nwoye, his son, Bazimbo inherited the said land and continued to farm on same by cultivating crops, hitherto cultivated by his father. After the demise of Bazimbo, his son, Snubanya Madaki, Bazimbo inherited the said land and continued to farm on same by cultivating crops such as yam, guinea corn, maize, cowpeas, beans, cow, seed on the upland, and rice on the swampy and marshy area. That during the lifetime of his father, Snubanya Madaki Bazimbo, his nephew, Busadiko, assisted him in farming on the land. That upon the demise of Snubanya Madaki Bazimbo, the 11th defendant to counterclaim, and his elder brother, Na'Allah, Snubanya Madaki, jointly inherited the said land. And that after inheriting the said land, the 11th defendant to counterclaim and his elder brother, Na'Allah, Snubanya Madaki, permitted Busadiko to continue farming on the said land as customary tenants. According to the 11th defendant to counterclaim, that himself and his elder brother also appointed Busadiko as caretaker and overseer of the said land, and that himself and his said brother did not collect customary tribute from Busadiko due to their relationship with him, as he was a nephew to their late father. That himself and his said elder brother, Busadiko, lent a portion of the said land to their auntie, Mrs. Nisana BBE Shamishi, who farmed thereon, and that the said Busadiko continued to farm on the said land until it lost its fertility, consequent upon which he left. After the demise of Mrs. Nisana BBE Shamishi, the 11th defendant to counterclaim and his elder brother, Na'Allah Subanyi, permitted her children, Kaswa Shamishi and Na'Allah Shamishi, to continue farming on the said portion of land. According to the 11th defendant, that himself and his elder brother, Na'Allah Snubanya Madaki, exercised acts of ownership over the said land by letting portion of same to customary tenants and selling or alienating portions of same to various individuals and organizations. According to the defendant, that the said land is bounded as follows: Kubaru Road to the west, the family of late Chofu to the north, with a gully as natural boundary, Meangwan Vundabo Iya to the east, with a gully as natural boundary, the family of late Baba Bangigi to the south, and that the said land is made up of an upland and two lowlands, Fadama and Swampy and Marshy area. According to the 11th defendant, that the following physical features can be found on the said land: two rocky areas on the northern part of the land, two lowlands, one on the eastern part and the other on the northern part, a hilly area on the north-eastern part, and that the 11th defendant to counterclaimant had economic trees such as mango trees, locust beans trees on the said land, which fruits he exclusively reaps and harvests without any challenge. The many of the said economic trees on the said land have been destroyed or failed by logging activities of people in the search of firewood. According to the 11th defendant, that he wants the Honorable Court to dismiss the counterclaim being frivolous, vexatious, unfounded, gold digging, and an attempt to reap from where the counterclaimer did not so. As stated above, at the close of the evidence of the parties, this Honorable Court visited the disputed land to verify the claim of each of the parties already in evidence. This Honorable Court ordered parties to file their respective final written addresses, which were adopted on the 15th day of March 2023. The National Counsel for the counterclaimant, Jegede Oare, Esquire, in his final written address, formulated 4 issues for determination. Thus, 1, whether the plaintiff is entitled to any relief over the disputed land in this suit. 2, whether the defendant counterclaimant has a valid counterclaim and whether he has proved the counterclaim to be entitled to judgment in the circumstance of this case. 3 was that the 8th defendant to counterclaim proved his title to 3.4 hectares occupied by him, being part of the land in dispute. 4 was that the 11th defendant to counterclaim defense can stand and whether it can vitiate the counterclaim, the circumstance of this case. Arguing the 4 issues, Tenant Counsel for the counterclaimant is final written address, having argued each of the 4 issues and for each evaluation, summarize his points as follows. 1. The striking out of the plaintiff's case without it being relisted puts an end to the plaintiff's claims unless relisted and disentitles him to the relief sought therein. 2. The plaintiff's failure to defend the counterclaimant's counterclaim and his failure to cross-examine the counterclaimant's witnesses amounts to an admission of the counterclaimant's claim to the land in dispute, and the court is bound to act on the said admission. 3. Even though the law is that the counterclaimant is to succeed on the strength of his case, the law still allows him to take advantage of the defect of the defendant's case which supports his claims. 4. The counterclaimant successfully proved his claim to the land in dispute by traditional evidence which is cogent, positive, and conclusive. 5. The law does not require the counterclaimant to prove more than one mode of proving title to be successful. A proof of one mode, such as the traditional history, as in the instant case, is sufficient to warrant the grant of the counterclaimant's claim. 6. The 8th defendant to counterclaim occupies 3.4 hectares of land, yet all available documents tendered by him show that he purportedly purchased only 2.4 hectares of land. He has failed to justify his occupation of 1 hectare of land, which is in excess of the 2.4 hectares he purportedly purchased from Mebel Okuonu. 7. The right of all in the name of Mebel Okuonu, which was purportedly transferred to the 8th defendant to counterclaimant, shows that the land which was transferred to the 8th defendant to counterclaim was 2.4 hectares of land, which implies that the 8th defendant to counterclaim appropriated 1.8 hectares belonging to the counterclaimer. 8. The 8th defendant to counterclaim predecessors entitled purportedly purchased 2.0 hectares from the counterclaimer and submitted documents exhibits L and M showing 2.4 hectares. Thus, the grant of 2.4 hectares to her by the National State Government by right of occupancy shows that 4 plots of land belonging to the counterclaimant was granted to her in excess. 9. The 8th defendant to counterclaimant's claims predecessor entitled cannot validly, on the basis of exhibit L and M, pass more than 2.0 hectares to each. Thus, the 8th defendant to counterclaim is in trespass to 1.4 hectares of land belonging to the counterclaimant. 10. The counterclaimant claimed that he did not sell land to Mebel Okuonu, from whom the 8th defendant to counterclaim purportedly derived his title, is aptly supported by the evidence on record showing that at the time it was claimed that the counterclaimant sold land to Mebel Okuonu, the counterclaimant had not acquired the portion occupied by the 8th defendant to counterclaim. As such, the counterclaimant could not have sold what he did not possess. 11. That the discrepancies in signatures purported to be Mebel Okuonu, even in the 2 documents purported to have transferred title to her by the counterclaimant, and other documents purported to have been signed by her, are a testament to the fact that documents were manipulated by Anthony Iwebono or anyone else to make it appear as if the counterclaimant has sold land to Mebel Okuonu. All the inherent defects already pointed out in the 8th defendants to counterclaims case already shows that it was impossible that the counterclaimant sold land to Mebel Okuonu. As such, the proof of forgery is unnecessary in the circumstance of the case. 14. The 8th defendant to counterclaimant's failure to insist on the power of attorney authorizing Anthony Iwebono to sell land not belonging to him to the 8th defendant to counterclaim, despite the absence of Mebel Okuonu throughout the transaction, is admitted by their witness would have